Hey guys, so just kind of woke up from a short nap. It was cold last night, so I didn't sleep very well. And because I'm old, and old people need to take naps sometimes. Um, Also, I'm putting my stuff into my water here. Um, so, StarCraft. I know it's been a while since anyone's heard of that name. StarCraft back in the day, huge. Very, very huge game. Very popular. Also, anyone wondering what I'm drinking? It's the Canada Dry Cranberry Ginger Ale. The little packets. I think the water still might be a little too frozen. I had it in the freezer for a while, and you know, but it's kind of cold. But yeah, StarCraft, Activision. Well, back when before it was Activision. Um, Good game. And people were kind of wanting to have it return, but I think I heard rumors that they were making it, but it's like the gameplay was going to be different than what people were used to. And I think I actually was this last year. I think I even covered it. Because StarCraft has always been a specific kind of game, and to say that, oh yeah, it might be different, which not always bad, but it's kind of like Warcraft, right? You have that style of gameplay, and people at first were probably like, "Oh yeah, if they were to change how the game plays, then it would ruin it." But then you got World of Warcraft, and people were like, "Huh, it actually works." So, but rumor, it's just a rumor, could be, possibly, maybe, just a theory, a game theory. Thanks for watching. No, Nexon to create a new StarCraft game. New rumor alleges that Activision Blizzard will be partnering with Korean developer Nexon to create a new StarCraft game. Korean website MTN claims that Nexon won a fierce competition. It was bloody and long, and it lasted for several centuries, but eventually Nexon came out on top. That also included Netmarble and NCS Soft to not only make a new StarCraft game based on the IP, but also landed the distribution rights for the upcoming Overwatch mobile game in both Korea and Japan. Oh boy. The report makes it clear that this new StarCraft game might not be in the same fashion. That's what I was talking about. So yeah, I think I did talk about this like last year, but it seems like more information's come out. In the same fashion as the original RTS, but that the bidding proposals were open-ended in terms of uh, German and content type. StarCraft was wow, God, God was originally released back in 1998 and depicted a battle for galactic control between Terran, Zerg, Protoss, and Xel'Naga. God, it is the 26th century. Brood War 98, so within like the same year. New campaign, map, units, upgrades, music, remastered versions in 2017. Sequel StarCraft 2 was released in 2010. Blizzard would release 3 expansions and Wings of Liberty in 2010, Heart of the Swarm in 2013, and Legacy of the Void, which sounds like it would have been a great World of Warcraft name, considering that's what we're dealing with right now. The Void. That would have been really cool. Um, but Legacy of the Void in 2015. A campaign pack called Nova Covert Ops was released in 2016. Blizzard and Nihilistic Software did develop a stealth action game in the StarCraft setting of StarCraft yeah, it was StarCraft Ghost. But eventually put the plans on hold in 2005 and eventually confirmed it was canceled. And yeah, that was what we were talking about. Yeah. Yeah, because we were like, it's, a stealth game is great, but that's not what StarCraft is. Um, yeah, I remember. I think it was last year. It was like last year or the year before that. I remember. I know I remember talking about it because obviously I brought it up. But yeah, I mean, hopefully they don't try to put that in this one. Hmm. It's like opening a can of cranberry sauce and drinking the juice from it. Um, yeah. So hopefully this game will return to what StarCraft is, an RTS. And I mean, it's okay to take chances because they kind of did that like with World of Warcraft. Where you have Warcraft, which was also in the same style of um StarCraft, RTS, but they took a chance. They made an open world MMO, and here we are 20 years later and it's still going strong. Every year people say it's dying, but it's not dying. Not dying anytime soon. So all those people just obviously just want to jump on the oh my god, World of Warcraft is dying. No, it's not. It's not dying. In fact, now that people know what the future holds for World of Warcraft with expansion wise, that keeps people more interested. No longer are we, gee, what's the next expansion? No, they announced the last BlizzCon what the expansions were going to be. You know, the next one being Midnight, and then the expansion after that being the Last Titan. So we have a roadmap, and they're probably going to do that from now on. Have BlizzCon and have like one or two or like a saga type thing, and they're like, oh yeah, these will be the next expansions for World of Warcraft and in the Light Saga, or the Undead Saga or something, whatever it is at the time. Um, but they took a chance with something new, and it worked out. It went from RTS to World of Warcraft, and it's popular. So I think it could work as something like that if they do it correctly, because obviously, uh, StarCraft's a little different than World of Warcraft. The whole universe that they're set in a little different than the universe Azeroth is set in, but it could work. But I don't think that's what fans want. I think fans would want a what you expect from StarCraft. It's like taking Diablo, which has always been the way it is, and trying to make that into something it's not. That's like turning Diablo into like a stealth game or like a first person shooter type thing. It doesn't work because that's not what Diablo is. Um, Taking Overwatch and making an action adventure, which could work. Actually, an action adventure, uh, Overwatch, having like an actual world to run around in where you're not just fighting against other people, but there's like the story and, just like almost like an MMO actually. That could probably work. Um, which I guess maybe it could be almost like WoW, where you have, your certain like, people, Tracer teaches you and helps you become like a time hopper almost. And then you have Winston training you to do that stuff. You have Widowmaker training you to be like these stealthy assassin, stuff like that. So, they could be like faction leaders. Obviously, it's just something off the top of my head, but if something like that, it could work, it could not, maybe, I don't know. But StarCraft has a very specific formula that's worked since 1998. So, um, branching out into something that's new and different could possibly work if done right, or it could turn just make everything comes crashing down because they you know They tried something that was just so absurdly far out of what it normally would be, and no one wants it. So, but it's good news for StarCraft fans. I don't think StarCraft fans have been shown a lot of love lately. Um, we had the new Diablo game not too long ago. Obviously World of Warcraft is constantly, new expansions, Overwatch 2. So the other franchises with Blizzard have gotten love, but StarCraft has just been kind of on the back burner. Like, oh, we've got stuff. It's just, I don't know when it's releasing. But if it's done right, I hope it does succeed because it's a great game or a great franchise. But yeah. Yeah, that's for the next video. Anyway, let me know where you were when you first beat StarCraft. When did you start playing StarCraft? And whatever things you can think about for StarCraft. Or I don't know, what are you drinking right now? Anyway, that's gonna do for me. You guys know the drill. I'll see you guys later. Bye, guys.